Whittlesea win the clearance there, and it's kicked into the direction of Adams, whose opponent was Hobbs there. Free kick's been paid McLeod's way. Leggett handballs off to Adams. Tries to break through a tackle to no avail. It's picked up by Page. I think that was the ruckman there for Whittlesea. And handball goes back out. Harris attempts to tackle. Can't bring him to ground. Hurley back in for his first senior game in a few years. Kicks in the Melican direction. He slips over. McAuliffe has kicked it out on the full for Whittlesea, and the free kick there is just going right in front of that milestone scoreboard sign where there is not much activity at the moment.
Okay, the ball's kicked up there by Ryan Harris, comes to half forward, players going in hard there. The umpire's picked up a trip here. It's gone to the Cloud player, might be in young Melican there. Gets on his trusty left foot, just a tumble kick that's fallen short there, dropped by Whittlesea, but it's picked up nicely by John Andrew, who, well, it's ended up in the hands of Captain Kane Shaw. Got over to Melican. They got it up to half forward. Here's a chance for McLeod. The ball's in the goal square. They're all going in hard there, and it's through for a behind. So the first score of the day goes to McLeod. They go to 1 behind, 1 point, leading Whittlesea yet to score. So there was an opportunity there for Lee for McLeod, but they just couldn't quite pick it up and get through for a goal.
Slipped through a lot of fingers today, Walshy, I think.
Well, there's a tumbling kicks come back into place, picked up by John Andrew. He's battled it back to full forward, and there's a mark to McLeod. The man in front there is young Martin, who got his body in front there and has taken a very safe chest mark. Sorry, Terry?
Okay.
He's in a position here to get the first goal of the day for McLeod and for the game. He's kicking from no more than 20 metres out, directly in front. Comes in, kicks, and it is a shocker. He's missed and has just got it in for a behind. So second behind of the day takes McLeod to 2 points. So there's a couple of opportunities there by McLeod boys, and they haven't been able to capitalise and get the 6 points. Ball being brought back into play this time by Whittlesea. They go to the outer side, the Cape Road side of the ground, and there's a nice mark there taken by Melican. He chips the ball up to a dangerous spot at half forward. Looks like Shaw was in there. Eventually Melican's back in there again. He just revels in these conditions, Melican. Now, the ball's been marked in defence by Whittlesea, but the umpires ruled there's been some interference in which Martin has arguably been kept out of the contest. And so Martin has another chance from a not dissimilar position to shoot for goal. Taking his time here. And that looks a little better off the boot. And the goal umpire, well, he's not sure though. He's waiting for the all clear. Goes back to his position. He says, it's a goal. So the first goal of the day goes to McLeod, and they go to a 1-2 8 point lead to Whittlesea yet to score.
Good start by McLeod. Plenty of ball being played in their in their forward half. Whittlesea haven't been given much of an opportunity yet. This game would have been quite crucial for McLeod to win moving forward to play finals had they won last week, but unfortunately weren't able to get over the line. So it's Long wins it down there. Socket off the ground by Shaw. Ruck roving today. The captain is a true utility, can play everywhere. Free kick's been awarded there to Whittlesea, and they've chipped it on the far wing. Moving into their forward line now, it looks like it's Page going at it there with Leggett. Leggett throws a little chip kick over the top looking for Sievers. He tries to get a handball out. Very muddy out there today. Lots of hard numbers to pick up, but here we go. Whittlesea have got a clearing kick. It is Behan, throwing himself at the ball. Fresh air there by McAuliffe. Harris won the ball for McLeod, picked up there by Snowden of Whittlesea. And he's got Briffa there on the far wing, right in front of the J&B drain cleaning sign.
Okay, now we've got Whittlesea bringing into attack here. They got it up to the forward pocket. The ball's bouncing near the boundary line and over and out for a throw in. Just a smallish crowd in the day, but they should be in for a good game. So far the weather's holding off, but the ground has deteriorated after the 19s and reserves game. However, let's hope we have a good Good game. Okay, now the ball's been defended well there by Leggett for McLeod. He's got it out to half back, but in the way there is a Whittlesea player who shows a lot of dash. He gets it down to full forward area where nearly a mark to McLeod in front there. The ball comes to ground level. All his Whittlesea players there. Rocky Collins was in there. He goes back for a second attempt at goal, and it's very close shot on goal by Collins, and it's just missed to the far side, and it's through for a behind. So the first score of the day to Whittlesea, and they go to 1 point, trailing McLeod on 8 points.
So now just quickly, Walshy, while the ball's being waiting for that to be retrieved, we've got Ray Lumberg in here today joining us with a few special comments and probably going to call it as he sees it.
Just some general information there for you, Lee. You're looking at the players. Snowden, number 2, ex-South Marine player, just running through number 7, Heaton, Northcote Park player, and 2 ex-Thomastown players out there in Christopher Horman and Rocky Collins.
Rocky Collins, I believe, is also on the Collingwood VFL list. Nankervis got the handball out there to O'Brien, kicked in the direction of Wacko Jacko Bianchin. He looked for Nankervis again, tackled there by a couple of Whittlesea players, throwing themselves at the ball. Whittlesea get a clearing kick, but it's not picked up by O'Brien. Falls into Leggett, the man who beat Rocker last year. Kicks a beautiful inside-out barrel. It was McAuliffe there throwing himself at the ball for Whittlesea. Handballed away by Hobbs. He's looking for one of his teammates, and the umpire will blow his whistle, and it will be thrown up here, right in the middle of the ground here. So it's Long and Page at it again. There's been a bit of a shove, and the free kick's gone against Long. So Page for Whittlesea will take the ball here.
Free kick to Page in the middle of the ground. He drives it down to half forward. Adams at the back there gets a fist to the ball, comes to ground level, picked up by Bean. They get the ball over to half forward. Captain Cainshaw's in hard there for McLeod. There's guys going in hard there. O'Brien was in there. Comes to no one in particular. It's a mud wrestle here, and the umpire runs in and says, "Give it to me, boys, and we'll have a ball up."
So some vital information there from our special comments man, Ray Lumberg. He certainly knows the Northern Footy League and Diamond Valley League inside out. So it was one of the Dyson boys there by the name of Roy who got a kick forward, and Daniel Hurley, not Michael, has taken a strong mark. Kicks out towards the little Arnie in Joel Kidd. Couldn't get his hands on the ball. Little handball off to Adams, who's chipped it along the boundary line. It is the Whittlesea player there. That was Ben Barker, the BB. He got a clearing kick there. Kidd for McLeod won it. Shaw kicks in the direction of Andrew, who was outmarked there by Roy Dyson.
So Roy Dyson gets the handball over to his teammate in number 1 there, who we're not too sure who it is.
Andrews.
And it's gone to the centre half back area. In the road there is young Woodhams. And Woodhams with a nice kick up to the right to the middle of the ground. Players in there, comes to ground level. They're going in hard there. Ryan Harris, no exception. He goes in very hard for the ball, that lad. He does a great job. Just revels in these conditions. Gets on his left foot, drives up to half forward looking for Malik Khan. The ball is punched away from him, comes down to ground level to one. It might be one of the Dysons on that occasion. He gets it further wide, and he's picked up his teammate out there with the man with the big number 52, who happens to be
Scott McAuliffe.
Okay, now there is the ball's gone to the McLeod guys there. I'm not too sure exactly what's happened there. Now the umpire's ruled right on the centre wing. There is a free kick to Whittlesea. So Whittlesea just chipped the ball further forward to the half forward flank area where there's a comfortable chest mark taken there. Then they get the ball across to the little man with a lot of aggro in Toll. Toll plays on, but it's an airy shot by Toll. He's missed everything, and McLeod is able to clear the ball nicely to Nankervis, but he couldn't quite hold on long enough to declare the mark there.
It was Toll to Joel there. They were just on opposing teams, and he couldn't quite get a kick over 15 metres for it to be legal. So Page wins it in the Whittlesea direction. It was Dyson who got a kick forward there. Whittlesea forward line looks a bit scarce today without Big Spider Fairchild in there. McLeod got a clearing kick off to Yarwood, handballed back inside to Andrew, the younger brother there of the Andrew brothers, and Barker couldn't mark there, was out-muscled by Jack Bianchin. Heenan, there we go. Thank you, Lunning. He gets a kick to Page. Page kicks in the into the Whittlesea forward line, punched away there long, tackled up by players. Umpire's going to ball it up there, right about in the centre of the ground.
Okay, it's in the centre of the bound. There's the ball up there. It's Long and Page at it. Comes the ground level, or where Whittlesea player wraps up Dan Curvis, and the ball's going nowhere, and they call for another ball up. Host of players around the ball there. McLeod with the advantage on the scoreboard, even though Whittlesea has not played all that badly so far. Now there is
blood rule, Walshy.
There's a blood rule here.
So just while the skipper from McLeod is coming off, Ray, how have you seen it so far?
Look, just on that, Lee, really interesting game today. Very important for both sides. McLeod are still a sniff to make finals and must keep winning every game. And Whittlesea must keep winning games to make sure they maintain their stop from going to the bottom of the ladder. So, and I'll give you the sums up on that shortly.
Thanks, Ray. So it was Long and the ruckman for Whittlesea, Page. Page got it forward. It is the little wee man there. It looked like Toll, but it wasn't. It was Heenan. He kicked there in the direction of Snowden. Snowden falling over the ball there. The umpire's going to ball it up about 35 metres out, I'd say, from the Whittlesea goal. So Page taps to the defensive side. Dyson, fresh air, couldn't get boot to ball. Long tries to pick it up for McLeod, tackles his Whittlesea opponent to the ground, and the ball will be thrown up again very quickly, not too far from where it was before.
Okay, the big men go at it. Page won the tap out there, comes to ground level. There's a snap over the shoulder by Whittlesea there. They get it up to the, might have been Briffer on that occasion. They get it to the forward pocket, but it's close to the boundary line and over the line and out of bounds. But there might have been a free kick, there is, given to McLeod there. They bring it up to half back, but only as far as big Jeremy Page, who has marked this ball 40 metres out from goal, and he's turned his back on the play. He fancies his chances. He's going back to have a shot. Goals are an absolute premium today, and he knows that, and he fancies his chances.
Interesting quick stat here, Walshy. The Whittlesea runner actually did the reserves game also, so looks a bit like a nice lean Monaghetti.
Yeah.
He's covering some Ks here on the muddy De Winton Park. So Page has a shot, fisted, Sievers wins it over the back, just throws it on his boot, looking for the boundary line. Here's Story, on first for the day, no mud on his clothes yet.
Whoa.
Certainly will be by the end of the day.
What a back in that.
Briffer there has kicked it for Whittlesea, and that was nearly a bad. I'll just leave it up to you, Ray, for this one.
Inexperience of young Tui then. He put the ball back in the middle in the hot spot for McLeod, put us under pressure, and good work for Sievers to keep it out from the goal. He should have gone along the boundary line, so good experience he'll learn from that.
Okay, the ball's back into play here. It comes to ground level. Oh, Nang Curvis has done very well there at half-back for McLeod. The ball comes to ground level. Arguably a free kick to Whittlesea there, but play's gone on. They shovel it out to Dyson. Dyson tries to barge his way through the pack, reminding everyone that what a rugby player looks like. The umpire says, we'll just have another ball up. Big Page there, nice left-handed handball, but only found as far as Branley. He gets the kick up over to the centre wing, where it's a nice mark there to the young fella Yarwood, who's in for his first game for a long time today. He gets it to half forward to John Andrew, who belts it up into a dangerous spot here, where there is a mark to... it's going to...
Adams, Walshy.
Adams, is it?
There we go.
Adams
All we've got to do is
it.
just keep the ears out for what other people are saying.
Okay, it's gone up to Adams there, who was marked in the forward pocket for McLeod. How did he get up there, Lee? He stayed in the back pocket, did he not?
He's a quick man.
Yeah, he's done well.
Put left foot, right foot. Did that about 100 times, and he's found himself in a position having a shot at goal. Not a bad kick. Umpire follows it across, but looks like he's just shanked it right across the face, out on the full. So hasn't troubled the scorers today, Adams, and the score still remains at 1-2-8 to Whittlesea 1-1. And it looks like it's Garrett Heenan going to be bringing the ball back in there for Whittlesea. He's looking for no target in particular. Andrew for McLeod couldn't get the ball away there. Hurley, O'Brien, Nelly had a chance to have a shot here. Beautiful drop punt. He's got Martin flying. Melican Crumbs throws it on the boot, and that is a touch.
Touched through.
Touched on the line.
Well, McLeod's had a few chances.
Touched off the boot.
Oh. Yeah, so there's a chance for McLeod there, but they just couldn't get the result they would like. So it's been ruled touch through for a behind. But anyway, that takes McLeod out to 9-point lead to the visitors back on the solitary 1 point. We're just waiting for the ball to be retrieved from whatever tree behind the goals down there.
While Brucey's just up there in the tree, Ray, you've got some more facts and figures for us?
No, just he's going to take the kick now, Lee. So
there we go.
Back to you.
Thank you, Ray. So the ball is brought back into play there. Long kick looking for Page. Whittlesey win the ball. Couple of cheeky handballs there. Nelly disposed of incorrectly. They've got a very big open forward line here. It's Sievers one-on-one with Briffa. Sievers has won the contents with a free kick. So
yeah, he did well there, Lee. He put his head over the ball and the recipient of that free kick. Well done, boy. Okay, they bring the ball up to the wing position. There's a comfortable mark there to Whittlesey, who then chip it around looking for a lead up at half forward by Briffa, but the ball comes off his hands and over the line and out of bounds. Out of bounds, half forward flank area on the Cape Street side of the ground. Umpire about to throw the ball back into play. We've got Long in the ruck there. There's been a change in the rucking there by Whittlesey. We've got number 26 now, who is Luke Durds, doing some rucking for Whittlesey, giving Jeremy Page a rest. Ball being thrown back in again. The umpire didn't like the throw in before. Comes the ground level. Oh, it's tough in there. Players going in hard for the ball. It's not coming out. And the umpire says we'll go again with another ball up. Great to have Ray Lumberg here today, Lee, with some special comments and statistical information. Welcome here, Ray. It's good.
Yeah, thanks, Greg.
And back to you, Lee.
Oh, thanks, Walshy.
Okay.
Forward to you. So Whittlesey get a kick here at Snowden, as we heard before, the former South Morang player, I believe.
Former South Morang player, good player, and Budgeon, when he went across to Whittlesey, took him with him, and he's been a very serviceable player for Whittlesey since crossing.
So he's going to line up just probably around the 40-metre arc here. If you can see that, your eyes are very good. So it'll be a long stop stay today. He puts it on his boot. Distance, not much of a trouble, but accuracy an issue.
Seems to be a bit of a mismatch there, though, because Shorey's lining and Shorey's picking up Snowden down there, so I'm not too sure if that's the deal, but I'll just keep an eye on Shorey and Snowden.
Thank you, Ray. So it is Sievers, chief kicking in for McLeod, and just went as far as the Whittlesey player there, who's got Toll. The little stump man is going to have a shot directly in front, about 25 metres out, and this could put Whittlesey on the board.
They faced the Tribunal on Tuesday night, probably lucky to be here.
An incident last week, Ray?
Yes, yes it was, but obviously found not guilty, and that's why he's out there now.
What was the charge?
Striking.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be unusual.
Okay, we've got Toll coming in shooting for goal. He's 25 metres out directly in front, fancies his chances. It looks good off the boot. He's happy, his teammates are happy, and the goal umpire is happy. So the first goal of the day for Whittlesey goes on the board. They go to 1-2, trailing McLeod on 1-3. So it's pretty much all tied up here. So we get deep into the first quarter.
What do you make the time, Lee?
Look, I'd say about 20 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah, you're about right, I think.
Yeah.
20 minutes, gentlemen.
Good. I didn't start the watch.
Okay, we're back at the centre bounce here. We're still Long in the ruck up against Durds. The big men go at it. Comes the ground level. There's a kick forward by McLeod. They get the half forward where Branley's picked up nicely. Got it over to Story. He's handballed to the running O'Brien. He's come back inside very nicely. Tried to get it to a dangerous spot at centre half forward, but it's come to ground level. It's picked up by Snowden, but his errant handball and ends up in the hands of Ryan Harris. Gets it over to his teammate who kicks forward. It's intercepted by Whittlesey there. Back to Harris. Oh, he's taken high. The umpire will have none of
That's
that.
gonna
He
be
says
holding
they're
the
holding
ball
the
there.
ball against Ryan Harris.
He gave the don't argue, and they argued and won. So Whittlesea got a clearing kick. Lots of open space here. Couldn't take the mark. There was the player for Whittlesea there in number 12. I think that might have been one of the other Dyson brothers by the name of Max. It is Daniel here. Handball's out wide. And looking over the top there, it just got as far as Briffa, and he was happy to see it over the boundary line.
In the middle!
So the ball is out of bounds on the Cape Street side of the ground, the far forward flank area, the end to which Whittlesea is kicking. It's been thrown back in. It's missed everyone, but at the back of the pack, Whittlesea player picks it up to a dangerous spot right in front of goal. Oh, nearly marked by Whittlesea. Dave Adams defends brilliantly for McLeod. They've got it up to O'Brien. Gets a nice handball back to Adams, and he just drives the ball up along the centre wing, but it's a little wide and it's out of bounds right in front of the commentary position. So it must have been, was it a little touch there, Lee? Was there we missed or something?
Oh, no, I didn't miss it. My eyes aren't playing tricks on me, but you might need to get the windscreen wipers out again for those
get the
glasses.
windscreen wipers out. The eyesight's failing me at this stage as it's picked up
there
by
we go.
Brownlee.
It's DJ Breen Machine. Handballs backwards to Adams. Yarwood going for the mark. Trips over. Doesn't matter that much anyway because it's gone out of bounds on the full. So it's going to be with Scott McAuliffe of Whittlesea. Once he gets his hands on the ball, he's going to be wanting to give them all opportunities at hitting the scoreboard here with this kick. It's going to be lots of hard contested ground level football today as O'Brien and the ruckman for Whittlesea Page go at it. Falls over the top there to Hobbs. It was White for McLeod, not Scooter White but Travis White. Yeah, great
brilliant.
mark there from the kick by Long. He's being told no hurry by the coach of McLeod. Got Ewart on the lead. Just uses his body very well there to take a nice chest mark. While she's dropped his record, doesn't know who the numbers are. He's climbing over the fence. While that's happened though, Martin has marked the ball. He's about 50 metres out. Kicks it right to the hot spot there. All the players fly up. Punched over by Whittlesea. And that is the crumbs there from Nankervis, I believe. And he's kicked a point. So the score there, 1-4-10. McLeod leading Whittlesea by 2 points. They are 1-8.
Okay, I've just been able to retrieve my record now as McLeod get that extra point and go to a 2-point lead. Now they're going to bring the ball back into play. It looks like it might be big. It's that big Horman bringing the ball back into play. He belts the ball to the Cape Street side of the ground. Big pack of players up there at the back of the pack as well. See, they bring the ball now down over centre where it's bouncing in the mud, but it's brilliantly picked up there by Captain Kane Shaw for McLeod. He gets it up to the centre glue pot. Oh, in first there, Whittlesea doing very well here.
So
Get the ball to half forward. Oh, there's a man running free there. He tries to pick it up, but he can't pick it up. He's brilliantly tackled near the boundary line by McLeod. Whittlesea guys go back in hard, and eventually the boundary umpire says it is over the line and out of bounds.
So it's going to be thrown in about 20 metres away from the Archie-clad light tower there on the far side of the ground. O'Brien was in the ruck there, but it was Long third man up. Sievers looks to have been taken high, and he's going to get a free kick there for McLeod. So Sievers goes back, assesses his options, kicks into the man on the mark, and the siren goes there. So it's a very low scoring match here at quarter time. It's McLeod 1-4-10 leading Whittlesea 1-8. So here we are, second quarter started. Andrew for McLeod wins the ball, handballs to Adams. He gets a clearing, handball out to Story. Story looking for Martin. Ball's kicked over their head. It's probably going to go straight out of bounds there and be thrown in from the Bennett pocket here at De Winton Park, right in front of the cricket nets. Umpire brings the ball back into play. It was Ewart there in the ruck for McLeod. Whittlesea trying to win the ball forward. It's picked up there by Bean. He's chipped it over into the centre, looking inboard for Collins. Goes back over his mark. Slowing down play a bit here, assessing his options. Just a little chip kick forward there. He's got Daniel. Daniel kicks forward for Whittlesea, and that looks like Dyson, who couldn't get his hands on it there for Whittlesea. Dyson of the Max variety. Briffa's down on hands and knees trying to win it there for Whittlesea as also. O'Brien, ball's one out by Harris. Gets a little kick forward there and it goes back just as far as Daniel for Whittlesea. He gets across to Collins again. Collins here had a couple of touches early in this second quarter. Chips off there to Tate. And Tate's going back over the mark. He's got a player on the lead here who's beaten by Sievers. Sievers throws himself over the ball. And I think that might have been Briffa again.
Hang on, I'll stop breathing. Hang on. Let me see.
We remind you to take a breath and breathe every now and then, but just don't breathe into Terry's microphone. White for McLeod, couldn't get his hands on it there. It was Daniel fisted away from the ball there and tackled down by Story, and it's actually been paid in the back, and the umpire for a second there it looked like he may have been wanting to give a 50-metre penalty, but he didn't. So O'Brien penalised there for pushing Daniel in the back, so he's had a little bit of it early in this second quarter too. So he's looking into the Whittlesea forward line for some options. There's a lot of handballs just being thrown everywhere. Ends up to Collins. He goes back towards Dyson. Dyson tries to get round White. Succeeds. Chips over there, and it is Deards for Whittlesea. Couldn't mark it. It's off with Toll. He handballs back there. And they're looking for Collins, but throwing himself at the ball was Yarwood. Couldn't mark it. And the umpire is going to ball it up just on the 40-metre arc there at the Whittlesea scoring end of the ground.
Okay, the ball about to be thrown into the air here. It's over on the Cape Street side of the ground, the end of which Whittlesea is kicking. The big fellas go at it, just comes down to ground level. All guys going in hard there, and the ball's going nowhere, and we'll have another ball up. Umpire's just throwing the mud off his hands there as he prepares to pick up the ball. He looks around, he's trying to spot something up there. Just got my co-commentary man adjusting the microphone here. How's that sounding, Terry?
Oh yeah, very loud, dulcet voice there.
Okay,
so Collins throws it on the left, and he's found the stumpy boy in Toll there. And he's the only goal kicker for Whittlesea today, lining up to kick his second. This could put Whittlesea in front here on the Bruce McDonald scoreboard there.
Okay, we've got Toll coming in. He's already kicked the one goal for the visitors, so you'll fancy his chances. There by Whittlesea, but it's only succeeded in going over the line and out of bounds on the full. But now what's happened there is Kane Shaw has got the free kick, but he's kicked into the man on the mark, and the ball's bounced off Toll's hands and over the line and out of bounds for a throw in. Ball being thrown back into play there. McLeod defence under pressure there, but Kane Shaw's in the road there. He gets a kick 20 metres out of the defence there, or in front there is John Andrew. He's thrown aside. It's taken by Whittlesea there. They have another shot on goal there. Long's in the road there. He gets a handball over to a teammate, but it spills free. We can't quite see who's from which side here. Players going in hard there. Eventually, one of the Dysons might have been Max. He gets a kick up to the forward pocket, and in the way there is Ryan Harris. Swings onto his left foot. He gets it down to Yarwood, who's done really well. He's picked it up nicely. He got it over to his young team there might have been Kidd. He gets up the wing position where Malikan suckers it off the ground, gets it up the half forward, but it's all Whittlesea there, and they're able to defend nicely to the wing position. The kick hasn't quite hit the mark. Picking the ball up there was... Well, I don't know who it was. Who do you reckon that was, Lee? Number 28.
It's gone with Yarwood now, and as your voice just starts to drain out because you haven't taken a breath for a while.
I'll take a breath.
In the meantime there, Whittlesea have won the ball, handballed over there. That looks like it's going to be Andrews for Whittlesea. He couldn't get a handball to hit the target there. Harris from McLeod ends up winning the ball, throws it on that left foot boot of his, and it's just gone as far as the Whittlesea player there. missed the number, so
Might be
he's
McAuliffe.
just telegraphed it straight to Matt Yarwood. Kicks inboard to Martin. Couldn't quite get the distance. On hands and knees trying to handball it out. Gets Bianchin, kicks out wide there in the Ewart direction. He's one-on-one with Horman for Whittlesea. Ball goes over the boundary line and it's going to be thrown in at the Archiclad light tower there.
Yes, the ball's going to be thrown back in front of the
Just in
Archiclad
case
light
they
tower.
didn't hear what I said the first time, hey Walshy, the ball's going to be thrown in again.
It is. Okay, there they go. Oh, Malikan's in there. He's got it on his left foot. He's got it forward, further forward, and there's a mark in front to Martin, who was marked at 40 metres out from goal. He fancies his chances. His goals are a premium here today. And so he's going to have this shot on goal. He's kicking left the screen to the Rosanna Bowling Club end. Kicking from about 40 metres and take a terrific kick to make the distance here. And I'll tell you what, he's done well, but it's just not
Kicker point.
the
1 goal
accuracy.
5. This is a bit of deja vu here for McLeod of last week. They weren't kicking straight and probably kicked themselves out of the game now, kicking 9 goals 18. So for Whittlesea, it is Nathan Andrews, the number one. Usually the number ones rate themselves sort of as that as some reasonable player, and he's just found a little chip kick there to McAuliffe.
Okay.
So McAuliffe touched off the boot by Malikan, fisted over the back there by Yarwood. Behan throws himself at the ball, couldn't win it. Martin couldn't pick it up. It was Andrew of the John variety for McLeod. Won it out to White. He kicked the ball over there, slipped through the fingers of a Whittlesea player. It looks like Stefano, who for Whittlesea, who couldn't get his hands on it, and shot on goal there just goes as far as a Whittlesea player who's kicked it out to Ryan Harris. Now he's going to think he's within scoring distance here, but he's actually had an attempt to kick to Travis White. Couldn't take the mark there. Ball falls to ground and a free kick has been paid against White for a push in the back.
Okay, it's a free kick to Whittlesea deep in the back defensive area of the Cape Street side of the ground. They bring the ball up to half
like I'm
back.
on repeat
In
there,
the road
Terry.
there is Ryan Harris. He belts the ball back and it's bouncing in the forward pocket and over the line and out of bounds. To be sure, we're doing a bit of repeats of the wording here today. I'll tell you what, it's very hard to be sure in these muddy conditions. Okay, as Whittlesea bring the ball back into play, they get the ball up in front of the Archie something or other light tower over there.
Archiclad there.
The Archiclad. The
Archiclad. We've only said it 4 times today.
What is this Archiclad? I'm just
Archiclad
mystified
for your
by it all.
cladding solutions there.
Cladding
Great
solutions.
supporters of the McLeod Football Club.
Okay.
So it's John Andrew there. Couldn't get a clean handball out. Players just throwing themselves at the ball. And the umpire will no doubt blow his whistle or it's going to go over the boundary line.
There's a lot of play happening in front of that Archiclad light tower. It's almost like there's a... Yes.
Just in case you didn't hear that, Greg.
Okay, the ball being thrown. Is it back into play or just thrown in the air? It's going to be thrown in the air by the umpire, very close to the boundary line, near that light tower that we won't call the name on again. And then this time it's over the line and out of bounds. Okay. McLeod hanging on to a 3-point lead here.
Nail biter.
And this could very not dissimilarly to the game against Eltham where it came down to the line and luckily in the end 6 goals got us a win.
It's not going to be a high-scoring game. Page gets a reasonable leap, just couldn't knock the ball forward and it's wrapped up again there.
Okay, ball being thrown in the air. The big men go at it. So arguably a win in the ruck there to McLeod. Comes the ground level with it all wrapped up there and the umpire says, what is he saying? He says, oh, we'll just have another ball up. There's the McLeod runner coming onto the ground, Lockie Considine. A young man with a lot of talent who's not playing football for whatever reason it is at the moment, but he's being the runner. The umpire calls for another ball up.
So the ball hasn't actually moved more than 10 metres in the past 2 minutes, I'd say there, and we are going to have another ball up. Lucky time on isn't been blowing on and off because Barry Matthews would have a sore finger there up in the timekeeper's box. we go. Page finally wins it forward in the Whittlesea direction. Players throwing themselves. Nankervis had his kick smothered off the boot. He's got another opportunity here. Getting a clearing handball forward, but not that clearing, as it just went straight into a pack of players, and the umpire will ball it up again about 15 metres further right of the last possession. So we can all see what's happening here, can't we, Walshy?
Oh yeah, we can see everything. It's just so clear. Nice clean jumpers out there. The numbers are just sparkling. Okay, the umpire just keeps wringing his hands of the mud. He doesn't like the mud on his hands, that umpire, as he...
Could be a pre-ball up ritual we're seeing
Yeah,
here.
could be. He's going through that ritual every time. Okay, as he throws the ball into the air. There's 25 players around the ball here. It's coming to no one in particular. It's eventually it edges 10 metres
I'd say
further
we're going
forward
about
for
15
Whittlesea.
minutes. I missed it
And
again.
this time we've got a ball up right in
12
front of the
minutes, all right.
McDonald scoreboard. Rich Reeds, McLeod, 1 goal 5-11, leading Whittlesea 1 goal 2-8. There's the ball in the air again. Comes the ground level. We cannot see what the hell's going on here, but the
Hang
umpire blows the whistle. And I
Free
think
kick.
he's picked out a free kick.
So it only took 15 ball ups, but Malikan looks like he's been taken high. Right in front of the insurance advisor net sign there. They make insurance work for you. Just throws it on his boot with a non-interesting barrel. Long couldn't mark it.
Whoa.
Story comes through with a big fist trying to punch the ball through, and might have got a little bit of contact there on the Whittlesea player, who doesn't look like he's moving to get up off the ground very quick. Lots of orders being barked out there from both players, and looks like there's a blood rule.
Okay, there's
Whittlesea, not sure, was that the man who went down there, Hobbs? No, Hobbs, sorry. Hobbs is, looks like he was holding on to the ball.
got number 43's made his
So
way onto the
27
park now.
there, Tate.
A rather solidly built chap who one would think will be suited for these conditions. There's a free kick at half back going to Whittlesea.
Hobbs.
To Hobbs, was it? They get some. Oh, the ball's come up to the man, number 43, who's just came onto the ground, and he's taken a safe chest mark. He chips the ball further forward to young Toll, who's marked the ball right in front of the McLeod coach's box. He does a tumbling torpedo punt, which went all of 25 metres forward. It's ended up in the hands of no one in particular. Players going in there hard at the ground level. Eventually the ball comes out to number 1 man for Whittlesea. He goes to the ground. He's all wrapped up. The umpire says we'll have another ball up. Okay.
So just a little bit of drizzle starting to come down here. Just annoying spits at the moment. Long fisted over his back. Brannelly pushed off the ball there by Andrews for Whittlesea, and he tackles Brannelly to the ground, and it's moved about 10 metres from its position there, from where it was just thrown up. So just while she's putting his raincoat on. Still a 3-point lead to McLeod. Not much scoring activity happening here. It's Page wins it down just as far as Painter. Back in for McLeod this week. Martin gets a little boot to ball. He's going to soccer this one off the ground. Keeps kicking it in front of himself. Runs past it. Shaw couldn't pick it up. It was Stefano for Whittlesea there. He's gone as far as Max Dyson. Handball's back there to Stefano again, and he's just seen the ball over the boundary line.
Was half a chance there for McLeod, Lee, but yes, the goals are just so valuable today if we can get another one. Okay, there's a beautiful tap out by Page there on the far side of the ground, the Cape Street side of the ground. Further kick up to the wing position by Whittlesea, but in the road there is the McLeod lad in.
Brad Leggett, Greg,
Big fella, Brad
we'd
Leggett.
be knowing our own players by now, but
I know, but it's hard to pick them up. No excuses, Greg. Get on with it. Now the ball is kicked out of the defence by Whittlesea. They get the ball up to the wing position where it's bouncing, and it's over the line right in front of the Bruce McDonald scoreboard.
so we've just ticked over about 16 minutes here in this second quarter. McLeod still holding a 3-point lead. So it's thrown back into play. Richie Andrew gets a clearing kick forward, and Melican for McLeod looks like he was being held there. Advantage was paid, but no advantage was given as Andrews for. Yes, it was Andrews
Yeah, I
for Whittlesea. He smothered the kick. Toll gets a handball forward. He's looking sharp, the Toll, so far in this match. He's won the ball back here, covering a lot of Ks with those little stumpy legs. Kick there, thrown on the left boot, and that's gone through. Has it? No, it is a behind. They were very excited down the Whittlesea end of the ground there, their contingent. So they move a point closer, trailing now by 2 points. It's 1 goal 3-9. Whittlesea trailing McLeod 1 goal 5-11. So there he is, Greg. It's Story.
Yeah, Story's brought the ball up to the wing position where Long's in the road there. He swung around 360 degrees. The umpire says you haven't disposed of the ball correctly. It's a free kick to Dirds of Whittlesea. Okay, now Whittlesea, number of leads taking place here. They seem to have a relatively open forward line. They kick the ball forward, but sitting back there in the way is the young fella in Sievers. He gets it up looking for Martin. Comes off his hands and eventually off Long's hands, and it's over the line and out of bounce. On the wing position, right in front of the McLeod Pavilion here. Ball being thrown back into play now. Dirds gets his hands on the ball, comes the ground line to no one in particular. Yara was in hard there. Richard Andrew gets a left foot kick up to the wing position. Going in hard there was Martin. All players from both sides are all wrapped up here, and the umpire's called for another ball up. So there's a ball up right in front of the McLeod coach's box here.
This would be about the 50th ball up for the quarter, and it's Page. Wins it there to his teammate there for Whittlesea. Number 9, Todd Bean, and he was just tackled up, and the umpire's going to throw it up again. So the rain is getting a little bit heavier now. Long does his own roving, and umpire's going to throw it up again. So there is a lot of repetition in this game. Balls being thrown up, tackles being laid, balls being thrown up again. Here we go. Let's see it. Let's see what happens this time. Page goes for a fist, but Long rejects it. Yarwood off the ground. And here we go. Have a look at Painter. Harris puts on a Shepherd, but there it just goes as fast as the Stefano there, and Long couldn't get the mark. Attempted pick up there by B, and handball went back to Dyson, smothered by Yarwood for McLeod. Dyson throws himself on it again, on the ball again. He looks like he's been awarded a free kick, holding the man.
Yeah, there's a free kick to Whittlesea here. They burst through the centre through Jaden Daniels, but it's intercepted by Malik, and he's done very well. He gets a handball out, but it's intercepted by Whittlesea. Whittlesea go forward. They bring the ball up to half forward. Waiting back there is Dave Adams. Now he's a nice kick of the ball. He's kicked it.
There we go, Greg. You just got to get a bit loud there and maybe get a bit soft, and maybe we can just move it up there for you.
Thank you very much. We bring the ball back into the centre of the ground where it might have been Gareth Heenan there, all wrapped up, and the umpire says, give it to me, boys, and we'll have another ball up right in the centre of the ground. It's a real arm wrestle here today.
Tell you what, there's not much scoring going on in the other games either. At quarter time, Eltham with 2 goals straight leading Greensborough 1-8, Bundoora 3-3-21 to Northcote Park 2-4-16. We've got another game coming through here. Heidelberg 5-3-33 to West Preston 3-1-19. No scores as yet from the local derby up there at Lower Plenty Park. So just while we were running through those scores, Painter for McLeod looks like he's coming off with a blood nose. Either that, or he's just had a bit of a runny nose, and Sharon's bought him out a tissue. So free kick there was taken by Woodhams and just went as far as the Whittlesea number 41 there in Rocky Collins.
Okay, Whittlesea get the ball up to the wing position on the outer side of the ground. In the road there is the McLeod boy. Might have been Branley on that occasion. He gets it to half forward. Players going in hard for the ball there. O'Brien was there. It was Ewart over the ball. He couldn't win himself a free kick, and eventually the umpire's called for another ball up. Now
little shimmy by the umpire there before he did take that ball up. Long wins it to Melican. Here's a man who loves the conditions, and we do hope he gets in the best this week so he can get the Saucony's hair voucher. Long overdue for a haircut. So Whittlesea clear the ball, and it goes just as far as Story. got a very strong left foot, kicks to the lead of Martin, and the ball just skids over the boundary line there, and it's going to be thrown in right on the 40-metre arc. So we've been going about 21 minutes here in this second quarter at De Winton Park, and no lead changes such. There's still only 2 points in it. Double-fisted tap there by Page, and it's socket off the ground by Shaw, who kept it in, and the umpire has just brought it back and said, I'll throw it in.
Okay, so there's a throw in right in front of the practice cricket.
Here's a trivia fact for you,
wickets
Walshy.
here. A trivia question?
A bit of trivia fact.
All right,
So,
here we go. Trivia. There we go.
If I say the ball's gone over the boundary line and going to be thrown in, and you say it again, we're
Yes.
repeating ourselves.
We are. Repetition.
Yes.
Repetition. No one wants to hear repetition. Okay, there's another ball up. Oh, we've got that. We've said that 542 times today. The ball's come to ground level, and it's hurried kick out of defence there by Whittlesea. Kidd was in there, didn't quite hang on to the ball there. It was Whittlesea bringing it up to half forward, and it's over the line and out of bounds. Ball halfway between the wing position and half forward flank, the end of which McLeod is kicking. There's a beautiful high ball toss in there by the boundary umpire, won by Page. There comes to ground level. Harris is in there. His number is totally obscured by mud, and the mud on his face is matching his beard at this stage. Okay, ball comes from that throw up to the ground level. Players going hard again. It's Richard Andrew in there as Harris leaves the ground. It's going to be interchanged with Nan Curvis. Okay, the boys go at it in the air there. Oh, the nice breakaway comes to the man Daniel for Whittlesea, and he's got a nice kick up to a hot spot in front of goal there. Nice movement of the ball there by Whittlesea. There's a chance on goal here for Whittlesea. They're in there trying very hard, but they get the ball around, but now they're going backwards, and the kick's screwed off the boot, and it's actually going McLeod's way, but in the way there is a Whittlesea player who has marked the ball and moved the ball further forward, where a mark's gone to, we don't know, well, it's gone to Garrett Heenan, I think he's gone wide, and if you go wide, you're just a mile from the goals. Now, the ball, there's been an incorrect disposal by Whittlesea, and then McLeod has taken the free kick through Story, dropped
And
the ball
it's
down
found
to a nice
Woodhams.
mark by Woodhams.
So Woodhams looking for Hewitt. Nearly out muscles, hard to take a mark above your head there on a day like today. Brunelly could have been taken high there, had his head open for collision, and was lucky enough to get out of that one. So it's going to be thrown up 30 out from the McLeod goal here. So Shaw goes at it with Page. Melican just loving these conditions here, and as you can see, there's that little hand shimmy again. So about a 24-minute quarter, I'd say, and at half-time it's 1-5-11 to 1-3-9, and that score is going McLeod's way.
Oh my God. There's a Dempsey.